Alright guys and girls, so just before we dive into this next topic, one thing that we need to understand is the topic we're about to be discussing is not for beginners. It's something that you're going to want to try implementing as you get further along in your lifting career. So what we're going to be talking about is muscle shocking. And now the definition of muscle shocking is, so there are different techniques to shocking your muscles, but a shock value, combining exercises back to back with minimal rest in between, is a great way to maximize pump, target and fully fatigue all areas of an individual muscle, or target multiple muscle groups within the same set. So now essentially, there are a few different methods. There are a few different techniques. I'm going to be giving you three. I'm going to name you off three different techniques that you can incorporate that are considered to shock your muscle. Like I said, even though this topic is not quite the perfect topic for beginners, eventually, even as a beginner, you're going to get to a point where you're going to reach a plateau, or you're going to want something to push you past where you're at. And this is where you guys will implement the shocking technique. So when you reach that point where you're kicking yourself trying to figure out, what could I do? I'm doing everything perfectly. It's fine. You may be doing things exactly how you should be doing them, but your body is very adaptive. Your muscles adapt very quickly. So if you're continuously going through the same thing, they're eventually going to catch on to what you're doing, and the movements will give you less benefits because the body has now been adapted to that workout. You need to constantly be changing things up, switching days out, adding reps, taking away reps, increasing weight, doing different things to try and shock the muscle, to try and confuse it a little bit. Because like we said, and as we all know, muscles are extremely adaptive. So if you stop working out and you come back to working out, your strength will come back decently quickly. The reason being, your muscles are adaptive. They don't completely forget what they learned. It's just that if over time you haven't been doing it, they will lose their strength. But they never fully forget how to get it back, how to regain that strength. So constantly doing the same thing over and over again may not give you the results that you're looking. You may not see the mass gain that you're trying to achieve, or you may not see the weight loss that you're trying to achieve. So implementing these little differences will help you no matter what. The first one we're going to start off talking about is supersets. What is a superset? Great question. I've been doing these for many years, and essentially a superset is when you're going to be performing one movement followed by another movement back to back. So say for example, you're doing bench press. You're going to do your press, and then you're going to superset with flies. So you'll go right into your flies, and then you take a rest. Then you're back into it. That is a great way to push your muscles right to exhaustion, to get them past any peak that you may be experiencing, any plateaus that you've hit. This is the way to do it, in my opinion. Number two is going to be drop sets. So what is a drop set, you might be asking? It's in the name. You're going to drop the weight each time. So you're going to use X amount of weight. You're going to push for failure. So you're going to go until you can't move it anymore. Then, for example, on bench press, say you start with 4 25-pound plates, 100 pounds on each side. You go for as many as you can. When you can't do any more, you rack it. You strip off a plate on each side, go back into it, go to failure. Then when you hit failure, rack it again, take off another plate. Now you're down to 2 plates. You're going to do that until you get all the way down to the empty bar. And it's a humbling experience because usually you could throw a bar around with 200 pounds on it, it's no big deal. But when you're implementing these type of strategies, when you're implementing a different approach to it, you're going to see it's going to burn your muscle out. You're going to be completely fatigued, and your muscles are going to be confused. They're going to be shocked. They're going to be questioning what's going on the entire time. And that's what you want to do. That's what you want to achieve. The third one and last one, we've talked about it before on this channel. It's giant sets. So you're going to be doing 3 workouts instead of, it's kind of like a superset, but it's a giant set. So it's a superset plus 1. So instead of doing 2 movements back to back, you're going to be doing 3 movements back to back to back. I found that when you get to your third movement, you have less fuel in the tank, for lack of a better term. You have less drive and ambition to get that last movement in. That's to each their own. If you try it and it works amazingly for you, then don't change. Keep working on incorporating 3 movements back to back, because bodybuilding at the end of the day is trial and error. It's what works for you, and what works for you may not necessarily work for the person right next to you or for the person across the world. That's why it's so crucial and important to have a routine that's built for you, or build your own routine based off of how you feel when you're doing these different movements. For myself, I know that when I'm building a routine for somebody, I'm taking a lot of different things into account. Have they been to a gym before? How long have they trained? What type of intensity do they bring to their workouts? All of these different components are gonna let me know how to build a perfect routine for somebody who it's gonna push to the next level. It's not about building a routine that's comfortable and you like it. It's about building a routine that's gonna make your body uncomfortable and force it to grow, or force the weight to be shed. That's what it's all about. That's why having a personalized routine is so crucial. So with all that being said, the main thing to keep in mind when you're trying to shock your muscles is incorporate something new, try something different. I started doing a bunch of different Olympic lifts and CrossFit movements, and when I started doing that, I saw that different parts of my body were blowing up in ways that I had never seen before, or targeting things with different angles that people would look at and say, hey, that's strange. But if it feels good to me, and if I'm targeting the muscle group that I'm trying to hit, then it's water under the bridge at that point. You shouldn't really be concerning yourself with what people think about your routine if your routine works for you. So with all that being said, I ramble. I got to get off to the boys' school because I'm going to play a couple songs for them. We're going to have a good time. And then I'm coming back here to do some more editing. And then I'm going to the gym. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to film tonight. I'm going to bring the camera. I'm going to show you guys a superset. I'm going to show you guys a drop set. And I'm going to show you guys a giant set. I'm going to incorporate it in this video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys learned something. And with all that being said, I hope you stay blessed. I hope you stay motivated, and I hope you stay driven to achieving what you need to achieve. One thing I saw, just a quick side note, one thing I saw the other day was a guy talking about being there for people and understanding that sometimes people won't be there for you, and people won't believe in you, and people won't defend you. And a lot of times people will say, oh, I don't care what people think about me. And I myself have been guilty of that, trying to suppress the fact that you actually do care about what people say. And you hear so many times, you hear people, for example, Gary Vee talks about not caring.
Some of you consume my content and know I talk a lot about, I don't care what you think about my losses. My L is my L. You're more than welcome to leave a comment and clown on me when I fail on something, when something doesn't work out. I have good news for you. I don't give a f what you have to say.
It's not about not caring. Everybody cares. Like it's part of human nature. It is who we are. You're gonna care about what people think. The difference is not caring and allowing what they think to determine the outcome of what you're trying to do. It's not foolish for you to care about what they think. It's not bad for you to take in their insight and to think about it and to weigh out the pros and cons. But when you're set in your mind on doing something, essentially you're not supposed to allow other people's opinions or other people's judgment dictate what you're gonna do. Don't let it sway you and start questioning, should I do it? That's where it comes into play, like not caring. You should care about what people say because it's human nature. You're always going to. If somebody comes up and says, bro, you're an idiot. Okay, you can care. You can say, all right, that's crappy. Like I look at you as an individual that I respect. So for you to say that to me, yeah, it hurts. Yeah, it bothers me. But I'm not gonna go sit in my bedroom and cry about it. Take what they said, okay, that's fine. Why do you think that? Ask them questions. Now when they tell you why they feel that you're not as smart or that you're not equipped to do what you're trying to do, then if you see that as a flaw in your life, you can work on it. You can make that area better so that you can propel. But stopping completely and saying, yeah, you're right. What is that gonna achieve? All that's doing is stopping you from something that could have possibly been great. But I don't wanna be late getting there. So I'm about to head off now. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay blessed, motivated. We'll catch up with you next time.